Can I play Ice Ice Baby on a base made out of ice without it breaking? Or worse, melting? I'm gonna try.
The first thing I need is a mold of the bass guitar's body. As I thought about the design, I thought it'd be cool to create a bass-shaped silicone mold. That way, I could just pop the ice base out like an ice cube. But to buy enough silicone was gonna be a little too expensive. So I opted for styrofoam and vegetable shortening. Got some shortening. Gonna line that styrofoam with this stuff. And whatever's left over, dinner. Anyways, after a couple hours driving, I had a bunch of free styrofoam and this enormous foam cooler that I thought would come in handy at some point. This body shape is modeled after the iconic Fender Precision bass, and it's been a staple of legendary players like Roger Waters of Pink Floyd, Steve Harris of Iron Maiden, and John Deacon of Queen, whose bass line I'm going to be playing on my ice bass. Wait, what? I thought you were playing Ice Ice Baby. Well, did you know that the beginning of Ice Ice Baby is actually a sample of the song Under Pressure by Queen? So when you hear the beginning of Ice Ice Baby, you're literally hearing John Deacon's bass line. Dude, that's crazy. Hey, who else plays the precision bass? Oh, this guy. After cutting and sealing the styrofoam, I slathered it in vegetable shortening so the ice base would just slide right out of it once it froze. Slide out nicely. How naive I am. Next thing I need is some ice. Now, here's where things get kind of tricky. Ice is made out of water, and water, as we're all told, conducts electricity, which bass guitars use to transmit audio. With all the exposed electrical connections in close proximity inside of a bass guitar, there's a very real chance that my ice bass could short circuit and either play no sound or horrible static. But here's the crazy thing. Water doesn't even conduct electricity. It's actually the stuff in water, like the little particles and things. That's what conducts electricity. So if you can have perfectly pure water, in theory, it shouldn't conduct electricity. And where can you find perfectly pure water? Well, at the grocery store. It's distilled water. By harnessing the magical non-conductive properties of distilled water, I began filling the mold. And that's where I hit a massive roadblock. I just found a leak. After adding some more sealant, I began filling one more time. Surprisingly, it seemed to hold okay. This is where I went wrong though. I filled the mold to the brim. Problem was that the weight of the water caused the styrofoam to flex, and water began leaking out again. Well, figure it out later, I guess. The next day I checked on the base, hoping that at least a little bit of water held, but it was no surprise to find that the mold was bone dry. All the water had leaked out. But just before I gave up hope, I noticed a small amount of ice around the edges of the mold. This was great news. Could this thin layer of ice have sealed the seam? I decided to add a small amount of water, and after waiting a few hours, I checked on it. There was more ice this time. It was actually working. Over the next day, I gradually added water little by little until the mold was filled. Oh, and to make this a real vanilla ice base, I added vanilla syrup, like probably too much. It kind of turned my base into a popsicle rather than an ice cube. Checking on it the next day, I had nothing but Ice Ice Baby. Sorry. All that was left was to put it together and try it out. I had hoped that the vegetable shortening would allow the base to slide right out, but that definitely did not happen. After going medieval on the styrofoam and whipping out the spatula, I had my base.
Yeah, boy.
Vanilla. But there was one major issue. The tone knob got stuck in the mold, and as I pulled the base out, one of the wires ripped off. I decided to just ditch the tone knob completely and just jumper the wires together. It was a horrible solder job, but it did the trick. I then drilled the holes for the neck bolts and carefully attached the bridge. I figured what better place to debut my ice base than at the beach. Once there, I attached the neck and strings. I kept the strings real loose and only put a slight amount of tension on one string because the neck was definitely not secure. This was the first time I was able to see the ice base in its completed form, and holy moly, I honestly couldn't believe that this thing actually came together. I'll be straight up, it looked a little janky, but for a first go, I was pretty dang happy.
It's so stupid, but it kind of plays. It gets tighter if I pull it. I can just move the neck and the...
It's like the crappiest thing I've ever made, but it actually kind of plays.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, what's up, guys? So that was the first go with the ice base. Now, I gotta say, some things went really well, some things not so well, but all in all, it was a really good learning experience. But check this out. I kept the ice base and I'm already working on ice base 2.0. Guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I'm gonna be taking ice base 2.0 to a music store and I'm gonna see if they're gonna buy it from me. You're not gonna wanna miss that. So I'll see you in the next video.